Hi, my name is Zack Jezek, and I'm the author of Immersion Mastery. I'm really excited that you guys are here listening to this now and watching this video, because that really tells me that you are committed to taking the first step to playing the game of life, not only by default, just until you run out of coins and tokens to get a high score or something, but to actually play to beat the game and to win. You see, I've noticed in human study, just seeing the people around me and from my friends and family, that life is so much like a game. Have you ever wondered why throughout the entire history of humanity we've been obsessed with games? We've always created the replica of, smaller versions of a bigger version of life itself. If we break it down, all we're doing is playing a game. We can choose our own characters, we can add perks and bonuses, we have different levels and missions that we have to complete. All these things are incorporated into our lives. But we kind of float through aimlessly, just, we go to school, we go to work, we talk to our friends, we talk to our neighbors, we go to sleep, we eat. There's a very basic and boring process of life that we all go through. I've noticed a lot of kids my age, especially the younger generations, are just aimlessly kind of floating around until a certain peer group grabs onto them as they float around, pulls them down, grounds them, and then makes them their own. They sort of claim that certain person that's just floating around. This would explain why so many fashion statements and themes and stuff are all the same. There's like a joke that my friends and I will make that we're living in like a cloned age, and if you go out to the mall or something, any public place, you'll see that probably 75% of the younger generation look exactly alike. You might not even be able to tell them apart. This is, it's sad, but it's because we seem to adopt ideas that are not of our own. When we float around aimlessly, we pick onto stuff, and it sort of grounds us and creates a new person that we become fully immersed with. And we play the game as that new character. With Immersion Mastery, I teach you how you can get out of that one character that you've grown familiar with, so that you wake up one day and realize that you have a whole selection. Your entire life, you've immersed yourself with so many different versions of yourself. Why not choose the best version? Why not play this game with only the greatest version of yourself? And the great thing about Immersion Mastery is that it's for teens and adults alike. You don't have to be anyone specific to get full benefit from this. Even if you're an adult with a child, or a worker with an employee, anything like this. If you're the employee thinking about, talking to your employer, if you're a child that wants to communicate better with your parents, it doesn't matter who you are. Immersion Mastery is incorporated into the web of life, and it's such an important thing. We all are such a big part of this game. We all are playing. It's like some kind of multiplayer thing. If we all play to benefit each other, we all play to benefit ourselves, we can all learn something. I was homeschooled and unschooled my entire life. My entire family was very supportive with all of my decisions, and I feel very blessed, very blessed. I feel like I've been given the gift of a freedom that has given me a love of learning. Throughout my entire life, I've never thought about, taking a test or an exam, because what I realize now, I would learn a lesson, and 2 weeks later or something, I would be actually putting that lesson into use in my life as an exam. And it didn't seem like anything but a game to me. And because it was just a game, it was fun. It's like when a child learns ABCs, the child doesn't want to, learn A, B, they sing a song. And that song is like the first thing that we can remember. It's because it has a melody, it's a game. It's easy to remember because it flows. When we're in that flow state, when we play this game and we make it fun as whoever we want to be, then life just seems to open up and happen for us. Life happens for us, not to us. Things start to just grow. The doors are opened. The most incredible miracles happen when you are fully present in a moment and fully immersed in the current situation that you're in. When you do this, when you truly master immersion, you can be in any situation, and no matter how horrible or wonderful it might be, you can always switch it around. Because by changing yourself, you change your surroundings. When I was very young, I never went to school. I never had any tests, any classes or anything. And the funny thing is, my friends that went to school would call me up and have me help them with their homework assignments or write essays or just anything to help them. And I liked doing that because to me, the things that that they were struggling with, I knew by heart. I might not have known what they were called at the time. I might not have known the specific labels or symbols for a certain topic or subject that they were studying. But I knew exactly, once I figured it out, I knew exactly how to fix it and how to solve it or how to present it in a way that everyone else could understand. And this wasn't because I, studied in a room, for the first 15 years of my life and about every subject that they teach in every school. This was because I was fully immersed as the founder of that certain subject. I would study the people that created these things. I wouldn't study these things, I would study the people that created these things, these subjects. And by studying those people, I would know everything that they knew. I would become another version of them in today's times. And I would know everything about the certain topic, subject, or issue that they were trying to solve. Because I thought like them. And we can all do this. We're all born with that gift of adaptation. Human beings are the most adaptive creatures. We can adapt to almost any surrounding. We just forget that we can do this. We have so many gifts and we forget to use them. In Immersion Mastery, I talk about perks. And I call perks, they're basically disadvantages. Perks are the disadvantages that we can use to our advantages. I know a lot of kids now have ADD, ADHD, OCD. ADHD and OCD might at first glance seem like an issue to some people. Now, why is it an issue if you could turn it into a perk or an advantage? There is no such thing as an issue and a challenge. A challenge is a stepping stone that allows you to reach greater heights. An issue is a problem, is an idea that someone thinks there is, you can solve it, but it's painful and it takes a lot of work. What if we could change the issue into a challenge and use that challenge as a perk and somehow rise to greater levels, bringing along our entire surroundings and all of the people around us with us? An example would be, let's say that you have OCD and ADD. The two things don't really match. OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder, and obsessive compulsive disorder means that you have a trauma. It's a trauma type of disorder that you have to repeat certain things, and if you do not repeat those things, if you do not create those rituals, then you associate severe trauma and anxiety with it. If you do not complete, if you don't put on your deodorant 50 times on either arm 2 times a day, then something terrible will happen. It is an anxiety disorder. Before we go into ADD, I'd like to mention real quick, a lot of people talk about OCD, and a lot of people say that they have it, but they don't. I know girls that will be like, oh, I have to fix your shoelace. It's my OCD. I have to, your collar's messed up. Let me fix it. It's my OCD. OCD, that might be a very mild form, but that's not really OCD. That's just wanting things to be perfect. That's a perfectionist. OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, is an anxiety disorder, and it can be very real to some people. If those people do not complete those rituals exactly the same way that they started them, something terrible might happen in their minds. ADD and ADHD is attention deficit disorder. Attention deficit disorder and attention deficit hyperactive disorder, ADHD, are basically exactly what those words are. Attention deficit disorder. They do not have attention. They don't have a long attention span. Kids with ADD are basically kids that are kids. They don't have a long attention span because their minds are so evolved, they can think and finish certain things before it happens. They're already on to the next subject before you even finish a sentence. It's annoying, yes, to some people because you can't keep up with them and they can't sit still, and this is some kind of sign of a disorder. But what if you had both of these disorders and you turned them into something incredible, a super perk, I call it? You see, OCD I like to call a perk, and ADD or ADHD I like to call a perk. Why? Because with OCD, I call it the robot mode, because if you choose to, you can apply the same repetition to everything that you do and make it absolutely perfect. If you associate complete anxiety, let's say you're a soccer player, and you associate complete anxiety with not kicking the ball exactly right to make that goal, maybe if you play the game, and if you're running and you kick the goal and then you associate, oh, I have to kick the goal exactly like this or it's complete anxiety, and you kick it again and you kick it again, and you could do it hundreds of times exactly the same to the exact movement, spot perfection. If you do that, you will score a goal every time in that type of situation. I know skateboarders, certain skateboarders that have OCD, that are the best skateboarders in the world because they associate that anxiety to landing their tricks. If they have complete anxiety to, oh, well, if I don't land this, then something severe will happen. If it's a trauma that, I must do this, I'm going to repeat it, they repeat it hundreds of times exactly the same way with complete consistency and complete commitment. If I was diagnosed with complete OCD, I feel like I would be repeating everything, but I wouldn't be repeating the silly things like, let me touch this 5 times, and I have to touch the lamppost 8 times before I pass it. Instead, I would associate, I have to do this exactly like this, my body has to be this way, and it creates a robotic synchronicity that's unlike any other. ADHD, for example, would be, let's call it the ninja perk. The ninja perk is you can execute things and finish things before anyone else can. An example, when I used to give skate camps and skate lessons, I used to be a skateboard instructor, a lot of my kids were good. They were at a younger age, varying from 8 to 13. And one of the children that I had in the group, his parents came up to me and his mom said, I really need you to, be careful with this one. He's got severe ADHD. If he doesn't listen to you or if he doesn't pay attention, that's totally okay. Just let him do his own thing and, give us a call. We'll bring him his medicine. When I heard this, I acknowledged it and I'm like, okay. And I kind of dismissed it afterward because I myself was diagnosed with ADD and autism, and nothing seemed to be any issue. When he started skating, I remember that he was, he would skate and he would finish the lesson before anyone else. And he would already have it done before anyone else was finished. And I wondered, okay, well, he's finishing really quick, so let's see if he could do something else. And I gave him more lessons. And I realized that he could, pick up really quick. But there was an issue with this because while he picked up everything really quick and he learned everything really quick, he was also really quick to just disappear. He didn't want to sit around with the other kids. He was, he was sitting, fidgeting, and when can we do this? Can I go skate? Can I go swim in the pool? Can I, is it lunchtime yet? And he was asking so many questions, always wanting to run around. It was incredible because he couldn't stay still for one moment. What I ended up doing is I thought, how can I make this benefit him and me? Because his running around was distracting the other children. It was making it sort of chaotic. And I was the only counselor at the time, so a chaotic skate camp full of 8 to 13-year-olds is not very, a very pretty thing, especially when they're skateboarding. So what I ended up doing, I took him to the side and I told him, what if you could, become a ninja, learn all of these things, and finish them before anyone else, and then teach these kids these things before anyone else could? Because you know exactly how to do it. Why not teach them? And he absolutely loved this idea because he started to execute things with perfect precision. He was landing tricks faster than any of the kids. And then he was teaching the kids faster than I could teach them even. Because he had already learned it, he had already landed it, and they could associate to him more because he was at their age range. And while I was the great instructor and I was highly respected there, he ended up being, he ended up teaching the kids more things almost because he had already done it, finished it, learned everything about it, and moved on to the next thing. It was absolutely brilliant. I was blown away. So I call that the ninja perk because with ADD or ADHD, you can execute things with perfect, just stealth, quick, in and out. Now to the super perk, what if we took OCD and ADD or ADHD and combined them? This would make, I'll call it the juggler. If we have the juggler perk, imagine that you've got, say, 6 things that you have to get done within the next 2 days. 6 papers or assignments or essays, whatever it might be. With ADD, you can't focus on one thing at once, but you know what's going on, but you can't focus on anything at once. With OCD, you can completely immerse yourself in one topic or one essay or whatever it might be 100% and perfect it because you repeat it over and over. You associate anxiety to not completing it or perfecting it or actually doing it. What if with your ADD you picked everything up, this is just a metaphor of course, you picked all of your essays up and you threw them in the air. Then you could juggle them because you have ADD and you can go from one thing to the next with super speed, faster than anybody else. Now if you use your OCD, as soon as you catch something and focus on everything, learn everything about it, become completely obsessed, you're obsessed with this thing for the time being until you catch the next thing. What if by being completely obsessed with this certain thing that you've caught, you can finish it with using ADD or ADHD, finish it completely, set it aside, move on to the next thing, become completely obsessed, finish it, set it aside. You'll have things done faster than any other individual. This would be absolutely amazing, and it actually is to the people who I teach this who actually take action and do it. The people that incorporate these perks into their lives, into this game, who actually get to choose the characters that they want to play, these people are living the most incredible lives. I know actors and actresses, speakers, professional skateboards and athletes, models, all of these people are playing the game to win. Winning doesn't mean that somebody has to lose. Winning means that you're playing at a level that doesn't mean that you're just, until you run out of tokens. It means that you're playing until you pass each level and you pass each challenge and you become the greatest version of yourself. A very good friend of me told me that his dream for his entire life was to become the greatest version of himself. And this should be everyone's dream, and it is at some level. When we fully immerse ourselves in any certain situation, we literally become the greatest version of ourselves because we are there completely. And we can choose who to be there as. In life we have different levels. We have, we go through different challenges and different levels throughout our lives. We go through, certain stages. And usually when we go through these stages, we become another version of ourselves. Everyone will go through, say, that young rebellious stage, and we become young and rebellious. Almost everyone goes through some kind of drug and alcohol stage, and they become a party animal type. They completely change, they look different, they act different. People go through all these stages. They become lovers, they become haters. They go through all these stages, and they sort of immerse themselves in different versions of themselves by default. This is just showing, this is again proof that this is a game. To get through different levels, we choose different characters. So what if we could choose the characters that we want to go through certain levels? Wouldn't it make the game easier? If you've got some kind of, if you're going through a party stage in your life, then why not choose the great, the most sociable, most exciting, most partied out type of person you can choose? If you're going through an absolutely committed to change the world stage, why not choose someone that has complete knowledge and focus, laser focus, a drive to make this world so much better than it already is? You can't get party guy to change the world, and you can't get, change the world guy to go to a party. So switch it up. Choose your characters. In Immersion Mastery, I tell you exactly how to do this. It's so simple. There's no hard thing. You can do it in less than I do it in less than 3 minutes. First it takes about 10 to 7, and then it goes to 3, and then it turns to about 30 seconds. And then you're another version of yourself, completely immersed in the certain moment, and you can conquer that moment with such an incredible it's beyond words. It's like success. I used to skateboard a lot, and when I did, I ended up learning a lot of things that weren't just skateboarding. It wasn't just like a big bag of tricks. When I skateboarded, I learned more than just, how to not roll my ankle and how to land a bunch of tricks. I learned, communication skills. I learned the rotation of the board, and the slightest weight distribution can create dramatic effects. I learned how to negotiate. I learned, just the different angles and the different levels of pressure, how they could create different effects, and just so many things. Like, I can look at a rail and tell exactly how fast you're going to have to go in order to jump over it. It created a sort of mathematical, architectural blueprint of everything. But the main thing that I learned from it, the best thing that I learned from it, was no matter how many times you fall, no matter how many times you're bruised, or beaten, you're bleeding, no matter how many boards you break, no matter how many times you get kicked out, beaten out, yelled at, screamed at, no matter how many times anything comes in your way or anything throws you down, you always have that drive to get back up, to walk back up those stairs and throw your body down one more time. To do it one more time, because you know that one more time will create the greatest difference. That one more time brings you so close to achieving success. And success is a feeling unlike any other. Success, that achievement of success, it's incredible. When you finally, after throwing yourself down that set of stairs or that ramp or that obstacle, after throwing your body down so many times and going back one more time, just one more time, to do that trick so perfect, you roll away with this smile on your face and this feeling in your gut and your heart, and you feel so happy. You feel so accomplished. It's like you've achieved your life goal, and just from that one more try. I have the highest respect for any athlete or any person that is doing anything in their lives to that level of, I want that success. I know some of my friends, they would have broken arms, or sprung ankles, and they would go back to that same spot to do it again, just so that they can roll away with that smile on their face and that feeling of success. Success is the most important thing in life. One of the most important things in life. We all strive to succeed. We all strive to win the game. Why are we wasting, what are we wasting time on? In Immersion Mastery, I teach you exactly how to win the game. I show you the ways to actually play, not to be just floating aimlessly. And I present it to you in a way that you can teach it to other people, and you can give it to others. Because when we rise to greater heights and when we bring the people around us with us, we're becoming more awakened and enlightened ourselves. The greatest gift is the gift of giving. Giving is so amazing. That's why I would like to give to you now this opportunity to play this game to win, to play this game to be the greatest version of yourself, to play this life, to live life as it should be lived, to be the most incredible version of you that you can right now, and to make this world so much better too. Nobody wants to be almost remembered. Nobody wants to almost win. Nobody wants, to almost be the guy that told an almost funny joke, or nobody wants that. Everybody wants to be remembered as the person who achieved something. And some of us change that idea from adopted ideas that we pick up from society because we believe, well, I'm not worthy of something, where we live in fear. But what if we didn't? What if we could let go of that fear and seriously become the greatest versions of ourselves? As my friend told me, it's so easy. It's stupid. And my gift to this world, from everything that I've learned, from all my life lessons, if I could give one thing back, this would be it. Immersion Mastery, I've put everything that I know into this, everything that has helped me throughout my life to become successful and to just live such a happy life. Like a life that is content no matter what. A life that even if I'm down and depressed, or even if I don't feel completely excited about something, if I have no money, I'm completely happy. If I have all the money in the world, I'm completely happy. A life that is lived vicariously through oneself. I want the world. I want my generation, I want yours, I want the entire world to live this type of life. A life that is pure and exciting, that is filled with adventure. And this is my gift to you. My gift to you is that adventure. You're so close. You're one try away from achieving absolute success. This is your try right now. This is your call to action. This is the walk up the stairs to try one more time, because this one more time, this one chance, this is what lets you roll away with that smile on your face and that feeling of success unlike any other. Because once you jump into this game fully, completely immersed with everything that you should have, life just opens for you.